Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. So today's video, I'm gonna do some book trope recs. So yeah, don't know what to say. I've tried to go for some books. It's going to be a lot in here that you guys probably most likely already read because they are quite popular. But I have also tried to do some that aren't so quite popular, but it's kind of difficult. Like, I'm looking at all the books that I've read. I'm like, so many of these like are things people have read, or there's some on my shelf that I haven't read, so I don't quite know what trope they fit into yet, and vice versa. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to do our best. I've got a few little recce's coming, so let's gonna start straight into it, okay? A recommendation for a small town book, romance, whatever, has to be, without a doubt, the Knockmount series by Lucy Score. These are both 5-star reads for me. The annotations from both of those, as you can see, insane. I can't wait for the third book to come out, which is Lucian and Salone's story, which I'm so excited because we see glimpses of them within these books and like in the epilogues as well. And I'm like, I just want to know what's happened between them, what's going on between them, and like how they get to where they are at the end of these books. I just need to know now, but I have to wait till September, which I think is very rude. But I'm so excited to get it and pick it up. It's already on pre-order. I saw a video of Lucy Score opening and getting the first copy of it, and the cover looks so good. Like the blue, the purple, pink, and then the purple is just like, I love it. So yeah, if small town romance, these are the ones for you guys, and it's not just small town romance either. There is so much that goes on, especially in this one. Like, it starts off with this one and the things that are happening in this one, and you start questioning it and you think it's all solved. Then you go into this one and you find out a shit ton more about shit that's happened, which you see mentioned in this one, and it's like, whoa. Because this one follows on from this one, so then I'm excited to see what Lucian Saenz is and what happens. Yeah, like, come on, Lucy, you need them. You need them. So yeah, small town romance, small town vibes. I'd suggest these ones. I don't know if I've read any of the small town ones. I might have. It might very much be like blank. Like I said, a lot of these in here are going to be ones that you guys have probably seen or read. But I've tried to do some different tropes in there as well. So we'll see how this goes. The next trope I've got is like a dark book, like a dark trope. So whether that be like dark romance, mafia, whatever, a dark book has to be, without a doubt, a 5-star series. I don't think it's just 5-star, like 10-star series. The Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. These books have a chokehold on me. It has a choke on me. If you have not read these, I recommend them. But I also will say, check trigger warnings. Please check them, because there is so much in here in both these books that can be very triggering. The first half of Hunting is quite difficult to read. You may end up having to take breaks and stuff, but H.D. Carlton does put trigger warnings at the beginning of each book, so make sure you check them out first before you read, please. They are dark, but they're also so good. So good. The writing was just great in this one, and I just loved her writing style. I loved the characters and their growth and their development and how things were linked in and put together. Just so good. And I will like to just also say, I did a whole reading vlog on these, so I'll leave it linked. But it is not just dark either. It's not just a dark romance. It's not just a stalker romance. You have murder, you have mystery, you have crime, you have paranormal. You have so much in these books that it's just, yeah, so good. So recommend those for a dark romance. A book for magical realism. So if you're looking for like a magical realism book, I highly recommend, another book I gave 5 stars to, is the Book of Form and Emptiness by Ruth Ozeki. I will continue to forever recommend this book. It had me in tears. I know I read it in a video, but I read it last year, so I can't exactly remember what video it was. But annotations yet again. This book is so good. So this book follows a boy who has lost his stepfather at the age of 13, and he starts hearing voices. Things start talking to him. So scissors start talking to him. Other things like voices telling him what to do. And you know, just anything in the house will start talking to him. His mother is also a hoarder, which makes it very difficult because there's so much in the house and just everything is but he goes to a public library to seek refuge, meets some people, talking to people, meets a book. And it's really weird because how it's written, so you have points where you follow the boy, and then you have points where you're reading from the book. Like, it's like the book is talking to you, which is so weird, but so crazy and so good at the same time. And the way Ruth Ozeki is written it is just incredible. I think I'm just going to read the back of this because I don't know if I explained it well, but I want you guys to be able to understand it fully. And I think the way it's written on the back is like the best way to explain it. When a book and a reader are meant for each other, both of them know it. After the tragic death of his father, 13-year-old Benny O begins to hear voices. The voices belong to the things in his house and sound variously pleasant, angry, or sad. Then his mother's diverts are a hoarding problem, and the voices grow more clamorous. So Benny seeks refuge in the silence of a large public library. There he meets a mesmerising street artist with a smug pet ferret, a homeless philosopher poet, and his very own book. He narrates Benny's life and teaches him to listen to things that truly matter. Blending unforgettable characters with jazz, climate change, and our attachment to material possessions, this classic Ruth Ozeki bold, human, and heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. This book can also fit for another trope that I'm going to talk about in today's video, so I'll mention it when I do that one. But yeah, if you guys have not picked up this book, please do. It is a tearjerker. I did like break my heart with it, but it's just so good. So all the representations within it, and like I say, it's got the magical realism aspects to it, like with the book talking to you and telling you like, it's crazy but so good. So yeah, I highly recommend picking this up if you guys want to do check trigger warnings, because there are some things that can be a bit disturbing, more so for like mental health and everything. So yeah, do check that out. The next one is a sports books. Now we have to talk about the queen of slow burn and sports, Mariana Zapata. 5-star books. If you guys have not picked up Mariana Zapata yet, I highly recommend it. Now, her books are slow burn. It does take a while. This one is a chunker, as you can tell. But they are so good. Even though they're slow burn, like that, it sounds weird when I try and explain it, but even though they're slow burn, they are really quick and easy reads. Like, you can just fly through these books. Like, they're saying crazy. Like, you can literally just fly past them. Like, but yeah, if you want a good sports romance, this one follows American football. I had to check. So yeah, this one is American football. I had to make sure I get the name right because being here in England, football is what America calls soccer. So American football, which is kind of like a little bit like our rugby, like they're the most similar in sports. If you're here in the UK, those are kind of like the most similar in sports, I would say. But yeah, American football. This Vanessa, I'm really struggling. Vanessa Missouri knows she's doing the right thing. She shouldn't feel bad for quitting. Being an assistant housekeeper, fairy godmother to the top defensive end in the National Football Organisation was always supposed to be temporary. She has plans, and none of them include washing extra large underwear longer than necessary. But when Aidan Groves shows up at her door wanting her to come back, she's beyond shocked. For 2 years, the man known as the Wall of Winnipeg couldn't even find it in him to tell her good morning or congratulate her on her birthday. Now, he's asking for the unthinkable. What do you say to the man who is used to getting everything he wants? Like, this book is so good. And yeah, like, the dynamics between them was very nice to see, and some band moments and their growth and stuff. Yeah, I recommend picking that one up. This one is a ice hockey figure skating, because I'm thinking of the next book I'm going to show you. Figure skating. If someone were to ask Jasmine Santos to describe the last few years of her life with a single word, it would definitely be a 4-letter one. After 17 years of figure skating and countless broken bones and broken promises, she knows her window to compete is coming to a close. But when the offer of a lifetime comes from the arrogant idiot she spent the last decade dreaming about pushing in front of a million bars, Jasmine might have to reconsider everything, including Ivan Lukov. Guys, the growth in deputies ones was incredible. Like, seeing them and their banter as well, and just getting into their mindsets and realizing why and what. Loved it. Now, as I was saying, another little sports romance, of course, has to be Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which was, I believe I rated it a 4.25, maybe a 4.5. Can't exactly remember off the top of my head, but if you want like a ice hockey, ice skating romance, this is incredible. And like, again, the banter, seeing their relationship grow, how they got together, like the trust they have in each other, and like what he did for her. Guys, you would never find another Nate Hawkins ever. Like what he did for her, perfect. And yeah, check warnings. There is mention of like mental abuse and dieting, all of that. So just check. But yeah, sports romances, I recommend these 3. Now, I've dedicated a whole shelf to this trope. And it's not necessarily actually a trope. It's not. It is a genre. Kind of. And that is for LGBTQ plus books. So if you guys love LGBTQ plus, or if you are LGBTQ plus and you want to read books within that you feel like you can relate to, if you're an ally to the LGBTQ plus community and you want to get a bit more maybe of an understanding, these books are really good. So first up, I have the Guncle by Stephen Rowley. Now, there are some mentions of cancer, so please do be warned if you don't want to read about cancer. Maybe not this one, it's not for you. But this follows Patrick, or gay Uncle Patrick, Gup for sure, has always loved his niece Macy and nephew Grant. That is, he loves spending time with them when they come out to Palm Springs for week-long visits, or when he heads home to Connecticut for holidays. So when tragedy strikes and Patrick finds himself suddenly taking on the role of primary guardian, he is honestly overwhelmed. Patrick has no idea what to expect, having spent years barely holding on after the loss of his great love, his somewhat stalled acting career, and a lifestyle not so suited to a 6 and a 9-year-old. But when his waggish set of Guncle rules no longer appease Maisie and Grant's parental void, Patrick's eyes are open to a new sense of responsibility and the realization that sometimes even being larger than life means you're unfailingly human. This book is just so beautiful, and there's so much banter in it and like funny moments, and it's like a laugh out loud kind of book. There's also mention of like alcohol abuse and addiction, so be warned. But yeah, if you guys want like a nice cute laughy like uplifting kind of book, this is kind of like the one for you. Next, of course, we have the king himself, well, one of the kings himself, Benjamin Ellis Saenz, with the Aristotle and Dante series books, both of which were 4 stars and a 5 stars. But to be honest, if I read this again, I probably would rate it a 5 star. Let's be realistic here. So, and I'm sure I will at some point. But these books are just beautiful, following these kids who are understanding themselves and their sexuality and understanding and like seeing all the discrimination that the community gets. Like, it is portrayed very well within this. And you really do feel for the characters. Like, my heart was breaking in some of those moments. But to see like the growing and the understanding, and to see their relationship grow and the things they go through, and yeah, I really recommend reading this one. I think I might not read the back of this because I kind of want you guys just to go into it and to love it and to really just get a feel for the characters when you read it. I think that's what I'm going to say. But yeah, can you tell I'm getting emotional? Next up, now, I have 2 other books from this author, but I haven't read them yet, so I'm only going to show you guys the ones I've read. And that is obviously the other king himself, TJ Klune, The House in the Korean Sea, and Under the Whispering Door. He represents the community in different ways. So he will use like fantasy. So this one follows Linus Baker. He has to go, he's in charge of the department in charge of magical youth. He works in that department. He's sent off to a house to kind of like assess, find out what's happening, make sure that the Antichrist is not going to cause any harm and danger. Do you know what I mean? But he then like just falls in love with the characters, the kids. He just like starts understanding them and their reality and what it's like to be them. And then their I want to say, is it called their housekeeper? Oh, guardian is their guardian, Arthur. They just fall in love, and like watching them grow is just beautiful. And just to see Arthur teaching us what it truly means to have like a family and stuff. It's just 5 stars. I love those 5 stars. Under the Whispering Door by J.J. Klune. Again, he works in a different way. So our guy Wallace, I don't want to mess any names up. Wallace, he passes away. He dies, but he wasn't ready to die. So he's trying to do everything he can to get back to living. So he goes to this house where Hugo, I should remember that. My nephew's name is on my wrist. Hugo is kind of like teaching them, you know, it's what it is, like, and they fall in love, and there's so many life lessons and stuff. And then Hugo's granddad is a ghost there, I believe, if I remember rightly. He is. I do remember rightly, he is. And also another character, which, oh my god, the names are just like falling out my head right now. But there's a girl there as well that's also past ghost. They run the tea shop. Hugo kind of sees death and life, so running that tea shop, he works and obviously sees people in the day, and then obviously at night. It's good. I'm really not explaining it very well, so what I will do is I will read this because my explaining is just shit. Welcome to Charon's Crossing. The tea is hot, the scones are fresh, and the dead are just passing through. When a reaper comes to collect Wallace from his own sparsely attended funeral, Wallace is outraged, but he begins to suspect she's right, and he is in fact dead. Then, when Hugo, owner of the most peculiar tea shop, promises to help him cross over, Wallace reluctantly accepts the truth. Yet even in death he refuses to abandon his life, even though he spent all of it working. But as Wallace drinks tea with Hugo and talks to his customers, he wonders if he'd been missing something. The feeling grows as he shares jokes with the resident ghost, manifests embarrassing footwear, and notices the stars. So when he's given 1 week to pass through the door to the other side, Wallace sets about living a lifetime in just 7 days. Under the Whistling Door is an uplifting story about a life spent at the office and death spent building a home, which that just sums it up perfectly. So yeah, highly recommend picking up TJ Klune if you have not. And if you have not, what's wrong with you? Why have you not picked it up? I'm joking. But I have other books that I haven't read from him. Moving on swiftly. Next one I have is fairy tale retellings. Now, I have fallen in love with these books. There is a third one to come out end of this year that follows Jasmine, like a retelling of Jasmine kind of thing. Both of these books are 4 stars. There is Annotating Mad, I read them for a video, and that is Rebel Rose and Feather and Flame. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, this is a Mulan retelling. Guys, these are the perfect retellings. So these kind of follow on from the original movies and like stories of them. Kind of follows on, but in a different way. So this is all about like female empowerment. They're learning stuff. They're just growing as people, and like the stories that go on further with them is just, yeah. So if you want to see some of your favorite Disney princesses in a different light, pick these up. So this one follows Belle after the curse has been broken. They're being reintroduced back to society, like the spell, like the prince. They all like wonder what's going on, and it's the French Revolution. So it follows that and follows what's happening within that and how she copes with it, what she does, how she deals with it, and her new position of being like a princess kind of thing. So you follow that one. And then Feather and Flame follows Mulan after the war. she set up like I don't know how it was worded, and she's a militia, that's it, of female warriors. So it's only female warriors. She's only training female warriors to protect the little small towns and villages that are surrounding the big city. And Imperial City, I just read that. Imperial City. And the Emperor himself he's moving on in life, do you know what I mean? And he's setting about his wishes when he passes and who he wishes to take over as Emperor. You see where I'm going with this? He wants Mulan to be the Empress when he passes. So you're kind of seeing her figure that out, as well as trying to protect little villages, because there is what is his name? Does it tell me his name? The Huns. The Huns are back. That's who I was thinking of. It was the Huns. Like, they're starting to build up again and start attacking again. So yeah, it follows that. Again, not explained very well, but if you want Disney retellings, fairy tale returns, pick these ones up. Poorly explained yet again. Workplace romance. It's a 5-star read, and it's this Spanish love deception. The workplace romance in this, the spice. So this follows Catalina and Aaron Blackford. Forgot his name for a second. Aaron Blackford. Catalina and Aaron, they're like kind of enemies to lovers as well. They don't get on, but she needs a date to a wedding. No, it's her sister's wedding, that was it. Because she's told them that she's going with her boyfriend, and she doesn't have a boyfriend. So she's now panicking, trying to find somebody that can just go with her to the wedding, be her date, so she doesn't look like an idiot in front of her family, pretty much. She has help from a friend, and Aaron hears about this, and he's like, I'll be your date, I'll go with you. And she's like, no, mate, no, not happening, no way. And he's just like, no, I'll do it. And like, it throws all that, and he does eventually go with her. But you also have a representation of an eating disorder in here with Catalina and her way of eating and his caring side. So yeah, 5-star read if you want a workplace romance and meet lovers. Pick up this one. Now, our last one is a little tough one. So this is one where you want to check trigger warnings. It is mental health representation and tropes with it. In it, I have the Midnight Library, which I go 4-star, and then what I was saying earlier is the Book of Emptiness as well, because sort of schizophrenia, hoarding, there's a lot that represent in this one. So I've already discussed this book, but yeah, this one follows in that trope as well, and this one follows Nora. So Nora's life has been going from bad to worse. And at a stroke of midnight on her last day on Earth, she finds herself transported to a library. There she's given a chance to undo her regrets and try out each of her lives she might have lived. It raises the ultimate question: with infinite choices, what is the best way to live? This is such a nice book, and it was written well. So you follow her going back through situations and scenarios that have happened in her life, trying to correct them and make them better, and she's trying to find a way to obviously not be dead, come back. She didn't mean to, but unfortunately it is what it is. And yeah, this is kind of like a really beautiful book, but obviously do check trigger warnings. I don't really want to go into too much detail, but for mental health representation, this book is a good one too. That is all our recs. There's a lot, and I have poorly explained them, so they will all be mentioned down below if you guys check them out. My explaining today is not the best, but it is what it is. So yeah, that is where we are at. That is what the book recommendations I have, those tropes. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and my rambling and my make mistakes. See, can't speak still. If there's any in here that you guys have read, let me know your thoughts. If there's any here that you haven't and you think, oh, I'll add it to my TBR, let me know. Yeah. Let me know if you have any other recommendations for any of the tropes that I mentioned that you think I would like. So yeah, let me know those as well. And yeah, I will catch you guys in my next video. Guys, don't forget to keep smiling, be kind, keep reading. Bye guys.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good